Did he tell you after you record?
I just want to start from the outset to say that any decision we make today may change tomorrow. In order to have the best expert advice, we have commissioned
Supercoach 360.
If the time's going up, it's recording.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, time for the show.
Oh, mate, 100%.
We need to find out why they think it's okay to say anything.
It's certainly one of the greatest challenges in the history of the game.
That's what they want to try and do. Megastar to megastar!
In this regard, we're leaving every option on the table.
Excellent.
Oh, what was that, buddy?
Something special.
You know what?
That's not talent.
Oh.
Supercoach 360.
The best way to handle these things is to stay measured, stay calm, live your life as normal.
Unless we start finding it off the people who actually it makes their little ordinary life feel a little bit better for that moment. Makes it cool. Supercoach 360 podcast.
G'day, welcome to Supercoach 360. How you doing? It is your boy Juzzy J, live from the coach's box again for a Tuesday. We are right on time, 10 past 8. So we're right on time as usual. Thanks for joining us. I am joined by my faithful companions in this wet Sydney weather. Bergs and Con, how are we doing, fellas?
Great. Yourself?
Yeah, good. How are you, fellas?
Fantastic. Did you watch a little bit of football over the weekend?
Got majority in.
Yeah.
Not every game. I got majority in though. Wet weather footy, hence the low scores. A lot of people very disheartened with low scores. It was pretty wet out there in Sydney in particular. Anyway, if there was a Sydney game, it was pretty wet. So
There were some big Supercoach scores though. There wasn't many, but there was a few decent Supercoach scores.
They're up a fair bit on the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we are starting to see some Supercoach, and I'm loving it.
It is good, yeah. No, it's good to see the points starting to roll back in.
All right, boys, full of life and personality as usual for another week. Thank you very much for joining us. We've got heaps to talk about on the show tonight. We've got the team list twist thanks to Ross Mann. We're going to talk PPM from round 3 thanks to Brad Smith. We've got the buy, hold, sell from Julian from Totally Addicted to Supercoach. And, of course, the Supercoach Hub as well. It's been a bit of a busy week, so unfortunately we haven't got any videos to throw in. Stuck with us, but that's all right. Right on through. We'll get there. We're going to talk your questions. We've got, of course, the question post that we threw up. Jump in the Facebook and join the conversation. Say g'day. We'd love to hear from you. We're going to try actually stay on track here throughout the show this week. So please jump in and let us know what you think about what we're talking about. So, boys, I think first things first, the team list twist for this week.
Yep.
What have we got, Colin?
Well, thanks to Ross Mann. Cheers, buddy. We got first game, Titans-Tigers. Philip Sammy's out with COVID, replaced by Corey Thompson. Jaden Campbell is out and replaced by Asako. Excuse me. Tigers, James Roberts returns from injury. Luke Garner moving back to the bench.
yeah, for Targo. I mean, Tuolangi, hey. Keep you together. Okay. Okay. Kevin Marlowe returns from injury.
Sit back.
From injury with Starto dropping to the reserves. Kel McTuolangi returns from Handog.
All right, you two. What is going on? All right. Okay, let's just. This is like the first time in like 3 and a bit years that I've ever gone, you know what? First 5 minutes of the show, I'm going to need you boys to carry it before the show. Because a few weeks ago, Burks was like, why didn't you tell me before? I've told them. They even knew what segments they were going to do. The bloopers reel this year is going to be amazing. I'll let you know. Right. I am keeping them. What happened? Fill me in.
I don't even know.
Oh,
he was trying to read the thing, and his voice was just getting quieter and quieter and quieter, and I just couldn't help but to laugh at him.
Oh my lord! All right, calm down, boys.
Couldn't get his
Where
shit
did we get
together.
to? Where did we get to there? Just check the phone. Where are we at, boys? Tigers. We're at the Tigers. Sharks Knights. All right, Tigers. James Roberts returns from...
Tuolangi, you're up to Tuolangi.
All right, Kelma Tuolangi returns from a head knock to replace Alex Seyfarth. Jake Simpkins, Thomas McKaylee dropped to the reserves for the Sharks v Knights clash. Sharks, Teagues Wilton returns from suspension. CSC for Talakai moves to the centres, replacing the injured Connor Tracy. For the Knights, KP is back. Tex Hoy drops back to the reserves. Brody Jones replaces Mitch Barnett. Sawaso Sue replacing Matt Croker on the bench. Panthers v South, the grand final rematch. Should be a cracker in this wet weather. Panthers, Nathan Cleary returns from injury. Sean O'Sullivan drops out. Scott Sorensen replaces Chris Smith, who's out with a head knock. I mean, like it was an elbow to the chin. Thank you, Mitch Barnett. Yeah, all right, apparently, allegedly. Lindsay Smith is also coming onto the bench. Shout outs to Mark Hindle. Hit me up today talking about Lindsay Smith. I do believe he's like a family friend or something. He's been spruiking him for a couple of years. Reckons he's the future. South's no changes from the side that toppled the Roosters last week. Warriors v Broncos. For the Warriors, Jack Murchie replacing Bailey Siren on the interchange bench. SJ named on the extended bench. For the Broncos, Keenan Palacia replacing Kurt Capewell. I believe he's out with an injury. Ryan James promoted into the starting side. Flegler returns from suspension, coming off the interchange. TC Rabadi returns to the bench, and Corey Jensen drops to the reserves. Manly Raiders, no changes for Manly, and for the Raiders, Nick Kotrich returns from injury. Sebastian Chris drops out. For Cowboys v Roosters clash, Cowboys no changes. For the Roosters, Daniel Saluka Fafita replaces Fletcher Baker on the Pine. Storm v Bulldogs, Harry Grant returns from COVID. Brandon Smith drops back to the bench. Xavier Coates returns to replace Nick Meaney out on the wing. Chris Lewis drops back to the reserves. And for the Bulldogs, Corey Waddell replacing Jack Hetherington, who's out injured, looks like the whole season. Luke Thompson named at prop. Ava Suamanufungi comes onto the interchange bench. And for the Eels v Dragons, for the Eels, Matto returns from injury, replacing Burimu Greg, and Bryce Cartwright replacing Ray Stone on the Pine. For the Dragons, Matt Fungi, I think it's Max Fungi, replaces the injured Cody Ramsey. Jaden Sewer out suspended, replaced by Jack Kaszewski, and Aaron Woods returns from injury off the bench. So massive thank you to Ross Mann for the team list twists. Boys, have we calmed down?
It was a Will Smith joke, got me hard.
Yeah, no, all good.
It was a Will Smith joke.
Yeah,
Right, fair enough. That was insane. You boys can fill me in on that one a little bit later. So yeah, massive shout outs to Ross Mann for the team list twists. You're an absolute legend.
Okay.
There's a few changes in there.
There are a few.
Not a lot of Supercoach relevancy, but I don't think.
Only for those that hung on to Maddo, it's a bit alarming he's starting off the bench if he did hang on, but there's only a few of you from what I've seen, so get off. I want to talk loop with you, just quickly. I've seen a lot of people looping on the weekend. Now, the loop can be good. The loop is a beneficial thing if you do it right and you do it at the right time. But like you pointed out, Con, like what if you had to sacrifice to get the loop, like, and you've sacrificed the wrong way? It's the loop, then it's not viable, is it?
Right. Well, it can work against you, yeah, if the score's not big enough off the field.
Yeah.
Depending on the options you take.
Like Nico on the weekend, was that a good loop? Was it a good looping week? In your opinion, did you see many people that would have not benefited from the loop this week?
Well, I think it just depends on how they played. Oh, jeez Christ. The plays around Nico. Well, I say Nico played first game against Dragons. Say you were confident in everyone else in your starting team and you took out Isaac Targo or Taylor May from the Panthers game, which you probably wouldn't have, but you might have. And they turned up, almost both of them. And you get a Monet as your AE, and you would have captain Pappenhausen instead. You're losing points at the same time. So
it's one of them things you really got to be careful doing if you're going to do it.
Definitely, I think.
I believe there's a calculator. I think there's one on the playbook. I think the Supercoach stats site has one as well. I'm not. Does the actual, like for gold users, do they have a calculator inside the app or anything?
Not that I've ever found.
Right.
Not that
So
I've looked for either, to be honest.
there are places to go and find the calculator. Like SC Playbook's one. which most of you guys listen to and probably already know already. Plus, I think, Juzzy, just a quick question. Do you know if where the calculator's located, like other than the playbook one?
No.
Nah, I think is there one on Supercoach stats? Is there a loop calculator on there? I'm not 100%. If there is, someone let us know.
How does it work?
You punch in your loop option. So you would have punched in Nico, and then probably would have punched in a Monet.
Yeah.
And then I think you punch in who you were going to captain, and it does the math for you.
Oh, so it doesn't help you decide throughout the week. It's just at the end of the weekend you can look back and see if it worked for you or if it didn't work for you.
Gives you this here.
So quickly pull up your results from the weekend. Throw them in.
I don't have one. So vice captain score, say, was Nico 124.
Captain score, we'll go Puppy 107.
107. The drop players score, we used Talon May, did we? Or we used
we'll go Talon May.
Talon May, so he scored 100, didn't he?
No, but you wouldn't have actually dropped Taylor May, would you?
We're just using it as an example.
No, but that's gonna heavily skew your numbers. You put in Pierre Kura, who had a projected of 0, or because it depends how you had to.
Well, you drop play is normally a player that you were gonna play. So,
yeah, that's it.
It wouldn't have been a forward due to the base.
All right, we'll use Billy Smith, 46.
Or even, but Talon May was probably the untested one of the weekend, so you might have done it.
Yeah.
And he's cheap.
There was a possibility.
But we'll use that 46.
And then the AE of Amone, which is 17, did
17, yep. So submit that, and it gives you...
You would have been better off not looping.
Not looping that week by 12 points.
372 versus 384 under that projection.
So there you go. So it's one of them things you got to be careful with.
I think you got to be $1.60 plus for me to start thinking about looping.
So a hat trick to like a D-fee on a Friday night is the only way you'd go that.
Yeah, or someone like Hynes or Teddy Turbo, something just absolutely braining it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it is. It's a massive gamble running loop, and I did see a lot of posts. Come, was it Saturday? The day it was. They played Thursday or Friday? They played Thursday, didn't they?
Thursday, first game.
So it was Friday. I got up in the morning and it was like fucking littered with, should I loop Nico? Don't get me wrong. When he updated, I was like, yeah, you probably should loop Nico at 124, especially the way points have been going. But like you just showed me again, like last year, I was adamant. Remember, I did the math wrong. Kando was the one that pointed it out to me. I was so way off, like.
But yeah, if you did it good and you went Nico, but you were going to captain Fifi, you got a 71, and you took out Penasini, 21, and got a Monet 17, and you probably would have been up, about 60, 70 points or something.
Yeah. So it is. It is a viable option to loop. You just got to be really careful on who's left to play in what environments, whether it's wet or not and shit like that. But me personally, I would have, if I had Nico in my side, I probably would have looped myself. But that's me, you know. Yeah. But like you just said, you've pointed it out here, and it's here in front of me. If I did loop Nico, I lose.
That's only if you were going to captain Puppy and you drop that. Like, there's lots of variables that can go into it.
I captain D-fee.
So you'd have been up 100 points.
I would have lost. I would have been... Like, I've lost points not doing it if I...
Yeah, definitely. So, if you had Nico and didn't captain him, but you captained D-fee, you lost out.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of them things. You just got to be careful when you do it. Do recommend it. It's a lot of people say it's not good sport and not part of the game, but if it wasn't part of the game, there wouldn't be a fucking option for it. You tell them to get fucked.
And it can backfire on you just as hard as it can help you, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Well, are you a loop man?
I've looped in the past. I have looped. I won't lie to you there. Every time I have looped though, has bit me.
Yep.
There was only that one time when I literally brought Turbo in first, like out of us, and I put the VC on him and he got $1.60. And I still only came out by 11 points because I was here on the podcast telling everyone I fucking smashed it. And Kando ended up messaging me, Kando from the Podmasters Cup League, He messaged me and said, "Nah, you're way off, dude. Like, here's this thing." And I punched it in the calculator, and I was like, "Nah, it don't look right to me. I like it my way." And he's like, "No, you just look like a fuckwit." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." By like 100 points. So yeah, I was way off that day, and my maths on it was just stupid. So he saved me ass. And yeah, I haven't looped since, to be honest.
Right.
Alrighty. So,
Welcome back. What were
back.
you just doing?
pardon? I was just hanging out, just chilling. Have you met old buddy in the background here?
I have.
Louis.
Say good day to old buddy.
Louis.
Old buddy is young buddy, but this
Yeah.
is Lewis. Louis. I know he's a Souths fan. We're not going to hold that against him.
You were for a bit.
Yeah.
You
But
were,
what's that?
you were for a bit.
If the grand final had gone the other way, he wouldn't be here.
As if. No. I didn't jump off after the first year we lost.
No, I mean, Lewis wouldn't be here if South had to beat yous last
Oh
year.
yeah, 100%. I actually, you going to the game on Saturday or Friday?
I am. I'll be there.
Yeah, sitting on the hill, pissing down rain.
No, not the hill. I'm getting under shirt.
Oh, look at you, you fancy boy.
From South.
Look at you, you fancy boy. And he says he's from the west. I
Got
don't
a
believe
box.
for a
Got a
second.
box, boys. No, eh?
So yeah, massive shout out to Lewis. He answered the call last week about looking for people to help us out with tech. We're still looking for people to help us out, like, you know, from further away as well.
There's heaps to do.
You know, in terms of like helping us to edit videos, upload and edit articles and upload them to the website and stuff like that. If you want to write articles for the website, you got opinions or anything like that, make sure you shoot them through supercoach360podcast@gmail.com or just check out the website www.supercoach360.com. So massive shout out to Lewis and thanks for being here, mate. So we've done the teamless twist. We've talked about some looping. Boys, revenue. Revenue is the name of the game early on in the competition. So revenue is one of the things that we definitely want to talk about this week. I foolishly sort of set my team up to the point where I didn't save any money. I haven't made any money yet. Last week was only the first price change. This week has been the first price change. But I didn't actually pull any trades last week, so I've only used one in total for the season so far. But I feel like I may have missed the boat on a few people because I've set my team up to the point where my only way to make money last week was to sell DFE, which I didn't want to do. Everyone else is sort of spread pretty thin or I'm aiming to make money out of. This week I've got to make some severe sort of downgrades in Reed money, but I can't afford to go up to someone like a Harry Grant, so I need to have a look at who I need to get rid of and who we need to actually bring in. So you got a bit of a list there, Bergs. I believe we've been going through it.
I do. I've culled the list because a few of them just weren't over 10% ownership, really. So if they're not over 10, they're not really worth talking about because they're just not worth talking about. Bullimore, I think he didn't do his job at all. I know as a stubborn coach myself, I don't like to admit when I'm wrong, but Bullimore's a wrong decision.
Big time.
I think if you can downgrade him or upgrade him, I think it's a good idea to do so. Hopefully you've got some jewels.
Just get rid of him.
Because, he's just going to end up losing before he starts gaining again. And Schuster's on the way back. He's only saving Grace's injury to middle forward now, I think. Amon's another one.
Well, both the Dragons players you have there on your list
What other one do I
have
have?
been
Very
highly disappointing.
Sloane's the other one I've
Yeah.
got. We might as well talk about both at the same time, Well, a lot of people jumped on. I know a couple of people anyway that jumped on after week one. They wanted to have a look. And then after week one, he passed the eye test, 70.
Sloane.
Heavily involved. And I know a couple of people jumped on. And since then, 20 back-to-back 26s, not real good. Amon, another one last week's jagged a try, but without that, he was back down there at 17, 18 again. Because he got a try with line break last week.
Yeah, both of them been very highly disappointing. I just feel I wasted.
The thing is with Amon, I think they were already highly priced for a cheapie anyway, if you know what I mean.
They're at the top end of the cheapie line, yeah.
Your drama is you're hard up finding more cheapies to fill the void. So I don't know what you do. Sloane's got cash behind him at least. He's up in the 400s. He should be able to do something with him. Amon's maybe a downgrade to Talon May. I know we weren't on Talon May
Well, I think
last.
Sloane would be in the same boat.
Yeah, but Sloane you got cash with.
Yeah, well, if you got
So-
cash to upgrade.
So, but you've still got 400 grand behind Sloane. So you can probably go a little bit across to someone else. Whereas Amone, there's no one 280. You can go down
Yeah.
to Thingo at 255, which pass the eye test. If he doesn't get Charlie Staines' spot, we'll talk about him a bit later. He's on another list, but Talon, mate, he looked good. He looked way better than Staines. So,
Yeah.
the other one on the list, Turbo. Now, for me, I wouldn't sell Turbo now. This is the stubborn side in me. I know he's lost a fuckload of coin, but look at the draw now. If you look at his draw, it's opened right up. It's
Well, this is what you brought him for.
Well, you didn't expect, like we talked about in previous podcasts, you didn't expect him to go back-to-back tons against Melbourne. Against the Roosters and Panthers. That was
Bit disappointing on the weekend.
against the Dogs.
Manly
yeah.
as a whole. Which
Yeah.
didn't help Turbos, I don't know. I'm torn now.
Would you, if you were a Turbo owned today, would you?
I'm like you, I'm stubborn. He just lost 174k pretty much last week. Probably
Turbo.
gonna lose another 100 odd k this week.
Would you get on?
I'm starting to lean towards jumping off ship.
Well, just a hypothetical situation. If you're a Turbo owner,
Yeah.
you can go. And you don't own Nico and Munster,
Yeah.
you can get them both.
Yeah.
It's one of them things I'd probably look at.
Well, I
heavily.
did something kind of similar to that, I suppose, this week with my team.
Yeah.
I had Cleary money sitting there from the start of the year. Instead of buying Cleary, I just spent it on Hynes and Munster.
Yeah.
Well, why not?
Are you
Smart.
Get
spewing
2
it
for
in?
1.
Well, Munster's going to get a price rise too. He's averaging 97.
Yeah, well, they're both
So-
scoring great points, and it makes my team look a lot better. I'm happy.
Other one on the list, Angus Criden. Now he's starting off the bench again this week. Now I know Gus will come good. I know he will deep down in my heart of hearts. But if I was a Gus owner this week, I'd cut him. I'd have to cut him. Where you cut him to, maybe a Fermor or Wilton, something like that. But there's a lot of money set to be lost if he keeps starting off the bench, getting 40s.
Not going to give away to Sneaky.
Give it.
David Jr.
Who's that?
Brody Jones.
Oh, whatever. That's just, I don't even know if I'll get on him yet. But they're just ones to look at. Also, Cherry Evans. Not sure how many teams he's in, but he's one that I know a couple of people did start the season with. While Manly's looking shit, I can't see him looking much better, and he's got a pretty high break even of like 80 this week. Could get it, but I can also see the logic in going sideways across to a Hynes if you didn't go that way or something like that.
Well, you said about their draw. Last year, it is a sweet, absolutely sweet draw. But at the moment, the form they're in and the teams they're playing are in, I don't think it's as cruisy as you would have anticipated at the start of the year when you started with Turbo.
What is their draw then?
They got the Raiders.
Yeah.
They should win that. Knights.
Yep.
We've been going okay. Titans been going okay. Sharks been going okay. Rabbitohs. So and then they got the Tigers, Broncos.
But that's not for another 300k loss.
That's it. So yeah, it's not as easy as you would have expected at the start of the year, I don't think.
Yeah. So what would you start jumping off Manly players other than forwards? Well, I'm keeping Olakau'atu, of course, but
He's
not
about
really.
the only one that I'd be keeping from there. Maybe Sean Kepi. Now he's played his way into the starting side.
It's still only there to LOA, I guess.
He's in the reserves, I think, this week. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone's really relevant. Well,
No.
not relevant, but apart from the Garricks, Turbos, Cherries, who you wouldn't be getting on, probably getting off, and Olakau'atu.
Would you put Alisi Katoa in that mix while there's no Sean Johnson?
Get rid of?
Yeah, he seems to be in quicksand without SJ. I know SJ's on extended bench this week, but that still could be another week away.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but I think SJ and him were going to be the combination, and SJ just couldn't stay fit for anything. So
Yeah. I don't know. I think it depends on your makeup of the back row. If you got him, Tupanua, and Kickow, you want to get rid of. But if you've got workers around him like a Murray's and stuff like that.
Well, let's talk about me sneaky, seeing as you snuck him out there. We'll move on to who to chase and why. Unless you've got any more
100%. Let's move
on.
Juzzy's proud of us for moving on our own.
Yeah,
I really am.
What's old mate's name again? Brody Jones.
Yeah.
I've looked at Brody in the past. He's scored tries. He doesn't run a bad line. He's no Mitch Barnett or Fitzgibbon, but he has a go. He's not scared.
Oh, I think he's highly enthusiastic.
Solid
little nugget.
For me, I'm thinking about not waiting and seeing. I know it's a dangerous ploy, but I've looked at your bench makeup. It's full all middle forwards and Phoenix Crossland. So I'm not worried about any of them stealing minutes off Brody Jones. I like Brody. If he can snag even 65 minutes there at 275k, don't have to play the bloke. But if Mitch Barnett's 5 weeks away, 6 weeks away, depending on judiciary. Do you know anything about the Fitzgibbon injury? Anyone?
I'm not too sure, bud. I'd have to have a look at that.
I'll quickly find out, though. I think it's NCL. Anyone on Facebook, let us know.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% on how long he's going to be there. If he can snag that spot for 5-6 weeks, he's definitely going to make some coin at 275k, and he could be a decent downgrade option for a lot. As long as your back line, your second row is already decently stacked, he'd be a good downgrade for a Gus if you didn't need to play the bloke. You know what I mean?
Grade 3 medial, not decided on surgery, but that was about 5 days ago. Looking to be out for at least 2 months.
Yeah, so he's got ages. You're better off getting surgery. Yeah, see, someone's already said wait on Jones. Now, that's the thing. I don't want to wait on Jones. I want to be that pod week away before everyone jumps on. But in saying that, can't really afford for him to come out and start getting 35s.
Well, I just did a little rough calculation in games he played over 70 minutes last week. Last year, he averaged over 60.
Brody Jones.
Yeah, and I think some of them were also at centre too, so...
Yeah, he can find the line. He scores.
Yeah. Well,
scores
he
tries.
didn't have many tries in that too, so it just shows you his base isn't terrible when you get into minutes.
Yeah, so I am seriously looking at him. Also, Schneider, if you didn't jump on Schneider or you jumped off Schneider crazily when he got COVID, I think Schneider's going to be a good little goer. He'll make it. He'll easy make it to 450. You reckon 500k Schneider?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, he's going to be a decent stepping stone to just about anyone. If you didn't get on Schneider, I think with a break even of minus. Sorry, people, I've just leaned forward and killed everyone. Minus 64. He'll go up a fair bit. He's what another 3 or 4 price rises in him, don't you think?
Yeah.
And done well. Now, Talon May, I know we were all off Talon May last week and said, wait, watch and see. Seen. Fucking really good. Pretty good. Spewing sorry if anyone did actually listen and didn't jump on. But
106.
The only drama is, and I'm not sure, I don't know about you guys. Me personally, I know we've already said it on the show a couple of times, but he should really push Staines out the side.
And he probably will eventually, but, I mean, he's not going to do that this week. He's also not going to score 2 tries each week, which you've got to remember there's 2 tries in there.
Set one up.
As well. Yeah, through to Targo, yeah.
Well, that is your left side, but that's their heavily taxed side.
Definitely, but
if Toto comes back and he does push Staines out, he's going to the other side. But by then he's made shitloads, hopefully.
He'll probably, if he's on the other side, I think he'll still get the tries outside Crichton.
I think he won't do what Charlie does and run towards the corner post. He'll come in and get hit.
Yeah.
I like him. I personally, if you need to downgrade a centre wing, I get him.
Targo, is it too late? If you missed the boat on him, or do you still get him?
No, I think so. I think if you don't have him,
left centre for the Panthers for the last 3 years has been a pretty juicy position, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. For me, I get him. There's not much on offer down there. He's still got
dual position.
He's still going to have a few price rises, and he's not lazy, man. It's not like he's
he could go close to being a keeper, I think.
Yeah, he takes them on, and he gets out there. He finds the work, he finds the ball. Does all the kick chasing, as well as he'll do returns out of the backfield.
Well, for
when
me,
he's down there, tackle 2-3.
both the next guys on that list, Targo and Fermor, for me, could, bar an injury, be season-long keepers.
Now, I've missed the boat on Fermor so far. Do you feel he's a must-have? Do I need to get him? Just for the points, even?
For me, I like him, man. He's solid. He's solid points, man. Don't get me wrong, has to score a try to get over 60, I think, but he's solid, man. He's out of the two, but if you didn't have the two and had to make the choice, I'd go Targo.
Yeah.
Not just for cheap, not just for the money he's going to make. I think Targo's got more points in him, being in the Penrith side on the left side. But Fermor does the work, and you got to remember David Fifita played that side last year, and that's where he commanded his price tag from. Playing on that left-hand side. I know different halves and stuff there this year, but still it seems to all be going to that left side, which is where Fermor is, and it's lucky for him.
Yeah, well, that's it. He's picking up all defense attacking stats for last year, and he's converting him. Like, he's a worker.
What do you got over there, young fella?
Yeah, no, I'm kicking myself not getting on Fermor.
All right, moving down the list.
Well, I've got to go back up the list just quickly to King.
Josh King.
Josh King. Now, while he's still getting named, he's still relevant. He's still got 3 price rises in him, does he?
Not at least.
So
I can see, even if Brandon Smith does push him out of lock spot, I can see him starting prop with Welch gone for the season.
Yeah. This would be the last week to get on him, though.
Yeah, because otherwise he will have made.
It will start.
100
you know what I
grand,
mean? You want to
200
start getting on him.
150.
He'd want to be on this week, especially if you don't see him as a season-long prospect, which you don't. You shouldn't. But yeah, he's definitely, for me, if you're going to get on him, he's one you have to get on this week. Talon May's not one you have to get on this week. You can wait a week for him just because he's a week away from a price rise. Targo's another one, I think. If you don't get on this week, he's going to be awkwardly priced. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
He's going to be up in the 400s next week.
Like, you might, not quite that high. It'll be low 300s probably, but you probably got one more week after this, but that'd probably be the end.
Yeah. And that'd be the same with Fermor, yeah? This is the last sort of
Yeah,
week.
well, I think so.
Yeah.
Depends, obviously, on what they do next week. If they come out with Fermor goes back to a 30 with no attacking stats, well, then, yeah, he's going to dry up quickly.
Yeah.
But if he keeps his try scoring going, get to $600,000 in a month.
And yeah, for me, I can see myself leaving him and Targo on my side all year. Keep the trades.
No, if that's the case, then don't worry about the money.
They're going to do the job, you know. That's just for me, but I'm not everyone, and a lot of people will have plans on upgrading those guys to a Toto when he comes back, or someone else. So,
well, like you said, you save that trade and you upgrade someone else if they're going better than who you originally had in mind of keeping.
Yeah,
you got to be fluid as well. So
now Teague Wilton this week comes back, hasn't made money yet, but will. He's got to break even to minus 26.
But will he make a ton?
He seems to be an option there. He scored tries in both first games. Talakai scored a try last week in the same position, so it seems to be an attacking spot for them. I dare say he will get a couple of tries over the next few weeks.
How far off Graham?
I think he's around 9-10 thing. So he's still got a few weeks there. If you're going to jump on, he'll get the price rise next week. So it's probably best to do it this week if you're going to do it. Wouldn't push into doing it, but there's probably better options. He'd be a bit of a pod play, I think.
Definitely a pod play.
And then Nat Butcher's the other one I've got on my list here. Now, me personally, I think Nat's a bit trappish.
Pretty expensive.
Well, he's got Angus Criden's spot.
For now,
and he tackles his ass off, Nat. And I think he gets pushed into the middle once Crichton comes on.
Graham round 6.
Oh, really? Probably wouldn't recommend old mate then.
A month worth of price rises, not great.
Maybe Wade comes back on the bench.
Nah. Captain of that side.
Possible.
Yeah, he could be, one of them things. Max King as well, if you haven't got on him, he's still got some price rise in him. I know his PPM sort of died out a bit on the weekend, but he's still going to make some price rises. Any injury to the front row over there too, or a suspension, I can see him getting that spot as well.
Well, I can't remember the lineup. What happened with Hetherington out now? Is TPJ on the edge, or did Waddell just get named there?
I think Waddell got named there. I'm not 100%. Don't know what happened to TPJ on the weekend. He played limited minutes. It was just a shit game for him. What brought him in? It's one of them things. Fucked. Another one of those shit things I do. Anyone else got anyone there looking at to chase and to bring in?
Munster Hynes for me. They've jumped onto my must-have list this week, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
Pappy looks good. Cheese looks good. Pretty much anyone in the Melbourne spine or around that part looks good.
Yeah.
You could have 5 Melbourne players, I think. Smith, Grant, Hughes, Munster, Pappy.
You wouldn't be disappointed.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, apart from that, obviously, Nath.
It's going to be fucking super pod to bring him in.
I think so.
Week 1, I think. It's going to benefit if you do and can do it. Just because it's Nath, I'm not worried. I am a little bit worried that he's not going to come out and bust out hundreds, But if they keep scoring points the way they have been without him, then you can only think he's going to better the side. And he kicks all the goals. So,
yeah.
He's one of them guys. For me, though, I could easily satisfy myself with a Nico for the time being and strengthen up other areas rather than bringing in an eighth for 900,000.
Yeah.
I know I could probably get him in 5 weeks for 200k less, Granted,
definitely.
I'm not going to get some of them points, but for the price he is, I know I can save the money and Salt Bay the love somewhere else, So, for me, I wouldn't get on week 1 even if I had the money, but that's just me. If you can do it, fucking go for it. You're the man. Well, you are, you've obviously banked for it. You've put yourself in a position to bring him in. Even if he comes out and gets a 90, you know what I mean? Still good, but he's still going to lose cash. That's the way you got to look at it. He's definitely going to lose cash, especially the way the points have been going. He's got to warm to the task. He hasn't played footy yet. What am I looking at?
This is who's projected to be making the most money in about 2 rounds' time. Now, this is according to the app, but a couple of people who you mentioned now and you are looking at showing up on this list as well as...
There's 2 of them on there. I'm just thinking, no way. Will Smith won.
Yeah, well, he won't even need his break even this week.
And Jermaine Hopgood's the other one.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, if he was to see an increase in minutes, I dare say that's what you'd see, but I don't know if what you are actually going to see.
Even Flegler's not even playing, hasn't been named, but he's predicted to make the 5th most money.
Yeah.
How does that work?
There's not enough on this yet. That's all I'm going to lay that down to.
Yeah. So what about someone like Silver Havili?
No, don't.
No?
What did he score on the weekend, bro?
He's averaging 20. His break-even's 38.
Yeah, he scored a 17.
Yeah, and he's averaging 20.
Yeah, you can't do that. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, that's yuck.
All right, so moving along. What do we got now, Juzzy?
That's a good question. We've gone through the players to get off, the players to get on.
Yep.
Gone through Lupin, team list.
Yep.
We got some PPM and we got some questions. So we say g'day to some of the people on Facebook. We've got a few people in there at the moment. Who we got in there? Let's jump up top. Ado's been in there. Todd Greasley's in there. Ross Mann's been contributing as usual. Barry McCormick says wetter than a late night in Hollywood fondue. It's true. Jared Watto's in there. Says g'day lads. Had a solid week. 11:29. Got busy and forgot to trade in Firma for Momasia.
Oh,
Brutal.
ouch.
He's on the piss Friday or Thursday.
Yeah. Mama see you again.
We've
I
all
know
been.
you're on the piss, Watto. I know it.
We've all been there. What I don't worry,
He
mate.
was doing it piss the other week, so now he does it and puts the phone down. So, Watto. We know. I know. Don't worry. I talk to Gregory sometimes.
Justin Askew says, looks like you've been fixing the fish tank all day there, Bergs.
I try to, man. It's fully blocked. It's got a block bump.
Aaron Jeffries says, JTB for Jay King. Is it too late? Or is it too risky with Grant and Smith back?
I think it's risky.
When's Maney back?
He's on the extended bench this week. I think he's
on the
18th man.
He's on the extended last week too, I think. Just do it. Just do it. I say just do it.
No.
Nah, you say no.
Yep.
Why?
No, I say yes.
Shannon
Yeah.
Pikowski loves the mudflap Bergs.
Thanks, Shan.
Michael Hocker says, how are we, lads? Gus is killing me. Who's a good downgrade? Need to bank some Nath money.
Well,
Firma. Save what, 100, 150k? Nah, 200 from Gus. What's Gus at?
yeah, he's 600 and something.
Yeah.
For me, I'm looking at going super dirt cheap. In Brody Jones, but that's a mass gamble. Mass gamble. If it doesn't pan out for me, I'm totaled.
In trouble, yeah.
It's one of them things I'm full thinking of doing. At least you could tow it down to him. Just won't play. Like, I'll just leave Jones on the bench. And then upgrade. It's only 50 or 60 grand. I know it's not really worth the trade, but I can't see Katoa doing any good without SJ, so it's one of the things I have to bite the bullet on, I think.
SJ's on the extended bench this week, isn't he?
Yeah,
Looking
but
at
you
hope-
can sit on the extended bench for a couple of weeks.
It's true.
It's more a scare tactic.
Uh,
If by rights, if SJ was ready, he'd be fucking named. Like, wouldn't be named on an extended bench. He'd be 7.
All right, quickly, just see a CHT incident.
What one?
Laying down, trying to milk a penalty for getting hit in the head. We didn't even get hit in the head.
It's fucking taut now, bro.
It was pretty bad, though.
You should get weeks for it.
It was blatant diving. It was pretty bad. And then they made him come from the field from an HIA because he stayed down after a head complaint.
Yeah,
I think
good.
I did see that.
That's good. So they should. If you're willing to lay down on the ground to get the penalty,
Should it be a sin bin if you get caught?
no, but you're definitely going for HIA. If you want to lay on the ground,
And that's
To milk the
15 minutes. To
penalty,
be honest, it's worse than
you're
a
off
It's
for
worse than a
15
sin bin.
minutes, mate. And that should be fucking written law. If they're laying on the ground flapping like a fucking fish out of water holding their head, HIA.
I must admit,
You get your penalty, but you're going for a head examination.
I was shocked with a few of the calls over the weekend. Teague Wilton being told by a trainer he needs a HIA and then being allowed to run back in the defensive line just to get pulled off.
Wasn't
Two-
Teague, he had the week off.
2 tackles later. Connor Tracy, sorry. Was it?
Kurt Mann one got me.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Getting kicked in the lower head and getting taken off for a HIA.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing of the doctor says, well, if they stay down, they've got to come off. That's pretty much what they're penalising now is them staying down. But that was a kick to the, short and curlies. Like,
Yeah.
you're staying down after that for a little bit.
yeah.
Oh,
The doctor
right.
should be able to see on the vision that there was no head knock.
You got Jats cracking.
Yeah,
Hey.
I think it might have been for an earlier tackle, a couple of tackles earlier, where there was a slight bit of contact. But yeah, I didn't think it warranted anywhere enough to come off. That it's a very frustrating thing watching at the moment. Like it's good when you see it go one way, like the CHT thing the other day, and it's happened a couple of other times as well. We've seen people stay down, try to milk a penalty, and then all of a sudden they're pulled off by the docs. But then you're still seeing some crazy shit where people are getting up clearly concussed, and their trainers are saying they're allowed to play on, and they're still given 2-3 minutes of running around out there before they're eventually pulled off by that doctor anyway. It's a strange system they got operating at the moment. Okie dokie. So we got the PPM with Brad Smith. So Brad Smith has very kindly dying over there, bud.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Try and stay alive at least the end of the show. PPM round 3 recap. Thanks to Brad Smith. Round 3 done and dusted for the first time this year. Many coaches got to pull the infamous loop. However, we've all got a little bit of junk hiding on our benches at this time of the season. So you got to be careful when you are going to do it. For the Dragons, Dragons v Sharks. Hynes on 125. Obviously, we've talked about him quite a bit. Andrew Fafita, he says, still getting around 1 ppm, but I do believe Julian from Totally Addicted Supercoach said he's probably a sell this week. It doesn't look like he's getting the minutes as Cam McInnes's minutes increase. Still at a juicy about 1 ppm. Sorry. Cam McInnes is 50 for 34, which is probably only about a 0.6.
Yeah. Oh, look, for me, if you have Cam McInnes, get out now.
Yeah, like what you're seeing over there.
Not that I don't like what I'm seeing. It's just he's a little bit away from being what he was.
Yeah.
For the money he is, you can easily fucking upgrade somewhere else, or you know what I mean. There's a lot of money involved.
What about if you got Fafita and no money? Who are you swapping to?
Fucking.
Not many options out there, is there?
You probably nothing.
Max King, if you don't have him, probably your only choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brutal. Alrighty. Hunt, Lomax and Bird all put up scores in the 60s for the Dragons, but aside from that, not too much over there. For the Warriors versus the Tigers, Aitken is one of the people that we've got to look at there. 70, obviously try assisted. Curran, slightly underwhelming on a 55. Oliver Gildart had a bit of a game. 2 line breaks, 4 tackle breaks, 201 metres, 70 Supercoach points, which is pretty tidy. Any of you boys jumped on him as a bit of a pod?
Nope.
No, so I saw he's out there in some sides. I'm not sure exactly how many he's in.
Well, they didn't do well the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's true. Katoa, who I believe is a hold at the moment, minutes were reduced due to a head knock, so disregard his low score this week. Twal, I believe, is also a bit of a sell at this point. 33 minutes for 26 points, which is just not enough, unless, of course, he's going to pick up a few more minutes, but I don't think he is he?
Well, Stefano's gone for syndesmosis, so someone might get some minutes, but
10 weeks for Udo Kamano, I believe.
the way they've been playing their forwards it's poo. You don't want anyone from the Tigers.
Shaking your head there, Con?
Would you want any Tigers?
No, I just shaking my head because I was Stefano owner and I'm still disappointed in myself for it.
Well, he's not going to drop any cash next week.
That's a plus. Good work. Cheers, mate.
No worries. Yeah, for me, I don't know if you do have Stefano, where do you go? Jai Arrow?
Yeah, like we talked about a couple. Either of the Kings aren't bad options. Give you a bit of bank.
But can you play him like you can play a Jai Arrow? You can't play a King with as much confidence as a Jai Arrow.
Yeah.
Can you?
I don't know.
Well, I did it last week. I pulled the reserve off Schneider, put it on Max King, lost myself 50 points.
Ouch.
One of them things, man.
I was more thinking Josh King.
Yeah, well, Josh King looks safer, but
Yeah.
with them all starting to come back, I don't know. Like you said, the Welsh injuries, he's only saving grace as he gets pushed in the front row there. And plays decent minutes, so. But you always got Big Naz there pushed if they're doing a bit shit, on comes Big Naz, he's first off, you know. So gamble.
All right, moving on. For the South Roosters game, obviously we had Latrell, Walker, Murray, even Cook all posting highly respectable scores. Murray top form, I think, for 120 odd, 129 points or something. 124.
125, I think he ended up with in the end.
Either way, it was pretty awesome. Superpod Kaloa Matangi chimed in with nearly 90 points. For those lucky enough to have him, I was actually considering bringing him in this week. Looks good. I believe South's run only gets juicier from here on out for a little bit.
Yeah, I think they only got like one tough game.
Yeah, he's proved last year and last week that he's capable of breaking through, getting across the line, and definitely picking up those tries out there on the edge. So
I'm a fan of him. He just gets lazy sometimes. That's one of them things you can't have. Like,
I think he's the South version of Olakawatu. They're both very similar.
So he's good, but he's got a 30 in him.
Yeah.
All right, sweet as. Crichton from the Roosters. If you haven't gotten off already, get off. He's coming off the bench, playing in the middle. Thing that he's doing at the moment, keeping Butcher out on the edge, is absurd. Would you go Butcher over him if he's going to retain that edge spot, or you think it's too much of a trap?
Yeah, I'd look elsewhere from both of them.
Yeah. Even though that
Yeah.
Roosters left edge known to be juicy.
Oh, look, even last week the left edge showed, like, what's his name? Tupanua only scored 46. So the left edge didn't work last week for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be
They-
honest, not much worked for them last week.
So
Did he
they,
play left last week?
hey,
Did he play left last week, Tupanua?
he's been playing left since the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took that off because that's where they shifted Sammy Walker to left, and he's seems to be Sammy Walker's protector. So
Little guardian angel.
Yeah, well, Butch had 3 runs on the weekend.
yeah, still scored 59.
45 tackles.
Yeah, which is good. So that says to me his base is good. You
That's
know.
it. They're not using him for runs. He does his job in defence. That's his job.
But for me, how long's he there? Like, it's only a matter of time before Gus pushes his way inside. And you can't drop Radley, and you can't drop Lindsay
I
Collins.
was about to say, you got Lindsay Collins coming back from injury.
So
He's only on the increase there.
I can't see him being a starting second row for long.
All right. Yeah, Lindsay Collins was the other one who I wanted to mention with 57 from 44 minutes, base PPM over 1.0, which is beautiful. If his minutes continue to increase, gets up to 65, you can be pulling solid numbers from him each and every week. If he jacks an attacking stat.
He'll be off for Origin duties.
Oh yeah, for sure. Queensland
Um,
forward, right?
yeah.
Queensland front rower.
They missed him last year too.
Taylor May. Big highlight out of the Panthers v Knights game. Barnett, obviously. I think a couple of people out there said that they saw people captain Barnett. Had a bit of a pod move. Sorry, bud.
I feel bad. 'cause
Doubled
I
up
was-
to -6.
I was spooking Barnett last week.
Should feel bad, Bergs. People trust you.
Yeah,
People
well, I
listen to
fucking-
what you say.
I did say maybe wait and see on the minutes, but some people may have jumped on.
I mean, he did get reduced
Ooh,
minutes this week, so that was a
Someone
good
wants
call.
me to do a fucking
Got
chewy.
heavily reduced.
Oh,
minutes.
Saxy rat test. Fuck you, Saxy.
Kick our owners.
Show me that thing.
Spewing. After he only pulled out a 25 this week. Are we expecting big things from Kickow this weekend?
Could
Maybe.
go either way.
Could do anything. Could get a 20, could get 200.
Apparently Souths are coming looking for him. That's the
Oh,
player.
he's not doing shit then.
That's the player they've decided they need to isolate on that side.
No, I think they've more bit of revenge for him singing their
Rat Test
mocking their
Saxy,
song
that's
last
what it
year
is.
after winning the grand final and shit, taking the piss out of him. I don't think
Okay.
they'd
Is
be
that what it was
happy about
for?
that.
Yeah, so
Obviously, yeah, Barnett's brain explosion. Dom Young,
What
Bradman
an
Best,
idiot. I
both
still can't
respectable
get over he did
scores.
that.
it was a bit stupid.
Storm v the Eels. Ray Stone out for the season. Done an ACL when he scored that final try, but how beautiful was that to see Storm get beaten in Golden Point?
It was
by,
good.
By a front rower scoring a try. Bench front rower scoring his second of the day.
In games like that, I don't give a shit who wins. It's just a good game.
It was a great game to watch.
Both of them teams are relevant to me. Don't get me wrong. I just like watching good games, and that was a good game of footy, you know. Didn't really care who came out the winner. So, good on Para for winning, because I really didn't see that happening. But I just enjoyed the game, and as long as it's a good game, I don't really care who wins, unless it's a Dogs game. Like,
I mean, lots of coaches won out of that game. Smith, Munster, and Papi pretty much all putting up centuries. Josh King, 81 from 65 minutes, so well over 1 ppm there. Isaiah Papali'i played 83 minutes for 84 points, so over 1 ppm there. And obviously the endurance. And Dylan Brown really clicked into gear and just, took it to the Storm and took it to the line quite a lot, with quite a lot of success, really. Picked up his first century for the season, so
We were on Bags earlier, if you remember.
I've still got him in my team.
We said, like, keep an eye on Bags. Like, it was going to go two ways for Bags. He was either still going to be a passenger or he's going to start commanding ball and doing what he's doing now, which he started to do. And I wouldn't tell anyone not to get him. He's going to play. He won't play Origin. He's going to plug a decent hole. If you can get Munster, though, I'd still get Munster over him.
Yeah, over him. If you had the luxury of going 5/8, that's probably who you'd be settling with.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's it. Munster's just a whole other level. He really is. He's
it's
just
him
absolutely
coming
insane.
back fit.
Well,
I don't think he's
like
ever
you said,
played footy fit before, you reckon?
He's playing into the first
not
Origin.
properly healthy fit.
Hey.
Like he's playing his way into, first Origin sort of form. And you see the coaching staff got named for the Maroons today.
Yeah.
So I dare say he's itching.
Played footy with all them.
Yeah, I was about to say he's itching to get up there. This is going to be fun for him. It's going to be a bit of a
Well, I
boys'
don't know
reunion.
if it's going to be as fun as it's been in the past
Well,
since it's been rehab.
He's off the piss, so we've seen it in previous years when players give up the piss for the year, what they can do. Turbo last year gave up the piss, and we've seen what he can do. We've seen it with other players. Trell's given it up this year, so we'll see about him.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, usually they go to get
Whole
a lot
other
better.
level.
Yeah.
Well, it does. You know, at the end of the day, like, and this isn't ragging on our people who drink or anything like that, but you're not as fresh. You know what I mean? Like, if you go home, sink a few beers, play the game, or do whatever they do, like, you're going to wake up feeling shit the next day a little bit. Like, it's in your system. It's the same as everyone else. Yeah, granted, you go to training and sweat it out probably the first hour. But that first hour, you're fucking hating life at training, you know? So, if you turn up to training unhungover and sober and keen to be there, it fucking other people feed off that too, like especially younger players in the squad if they look up to a Munster or someone like that. Like, fuck man, if he's going in there and doing shit like that, then they all want to do it.
Not only that, generally when you drink, bad habits follow. Like eating shit food,
yeah,
smoking,
out till
a
3
lot
in
of
the
all
morning.
those, undersleeping. So it has a chain reaction. So it fixes up a lot of parts of your life at the same time, not just the drinking aspect.
Yeah.
So you boys going to do it then?
What?
Off the drink for a year?
Oh no.
I'm
Those will
gonna
do my
do it.
year for me.
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it for you, man. I'll do it. No drinking for a year.
All right, Titans, Raiders. Raiders just got up in this one. Well, I mean, really, they commanded the second half. They earned their way back to, win by 2 points. Brad Schneider for the Raiders. Obviously, we've already talked about him. 76, looking like a solid halfback option, especially that second halfback option. But would you play him every week, boys?
Depending on match, I wouldn't play him against Melbourne, but
It's always a good game when the Storm play the Raiders.
Definitely, yeah, but definitely against the bottom 8 teams, I would.
Yeah.
Definitely. Anyone they look like putting some points on, he kicks the goal, so, and he's a bit of a sharpshooter.
I think he'll definitely make my team for the next month until it strengthens up.
Yeah. All right, cool. Jack Whiten looked like he's having one of his best Supercoach years to date so far. 60 points. But Brad's concerned that he's not really translating that well into Supercoach.
The thing with Jackie is he's only really had that one season to be relevant with Supercoach. Otherwise, he fluctuates. He will go on runs. Like, I've owned Jack in the past and he's burnt me every one of them times. But in saying that, there have been scores in there that were respectable. But still, overall, burnt the shit out of me, cost me things.
Yeah.
When I should have gone other ways. So I wouldn't tell you to go. I'd go with Schneider over him, but you can't get him in revolving positions. But with the way 5'8" is, 60 isn't too bad for 5'8" for this year. If you're going off a Cody Walker or...
All right, defeat. Did you boys hold?
I held.
And captains.
Captains.
Yeah. He did all right this week. I mean, probably not a captain score that you'd really want to be.
Definitely not.
But, all right. Starting to see a bit of form. Played the full 80 minutes. Went looking for the ball a little bit more. Just didn't really have the support following him through when he did get through. I mean, he commands those 4 defenders, but they are eventually taking him down. It's up to someone else to then keep running it through. Can't be expected.
If their coach doesn't say something to them, like give him some good early ball where he can run onto it.
Well, Campbell gone with a rib injury now and Asako moving in there. Do you think that's going to have an influence on Fafita getting more ball?
It sometimes comes down to Fafita too.
Yeah,
You
fair.
know, like, if you're a game breaker player, then if your team seems to be in a bit of a rut, it's up to you to notice that too, you know. He doesn't seem to notice it. In saying that, they won not last week, week before. If he had 10 more runs in this game, they probably win the game.
I mean, yeah,
But
look.
what, you can't make him do it. The coach obviously not making him do it.
Well, the coach can make him do it.
But
You set up game plans where the ball goes to his side and he actually gets the fucking ball instead of playing to the other side or playing up the middle and he has to go and chase it around the field.
yeah, well,
Take the ball to him.
don't get me wrong, he had 5 runs for 70 fucking points, so I'm not unhappy about that. Give him 10 runs for 150 points. And
Yeah, he'll be right. By
and
the
it
end of
makes
the
our
year, he'll
trade
be the
right.
highest average in second rower again. So
Yeah. I just want to hope that I've
I'm
got
sweet. I'm happy to ride the price rises up and down and take the shit 60s and roll with it.
All right, sweet as. Firma, we've obviously already mentioned a few times. Big Tino, 87, but that was with a try.
The only
That's what's
thing with
happening.
Tino is he's a duel, so that's enticing.
All right, quickly, 2 more to get through. Holmes from the Cowboys.
Look good at centre.
Pulled up over the 100. He might have found his position there. He's got the defence. He's got the strength and the speed there. And he's got the experience to be able to make those sort of reads, especially with an inexperienced group around him. Inexperienced back rowers, inexperienced wingers, inexperienced fullback ultimately.
Took away from Hiku.
He's had a blinder, Val. He just
Yeah.
kicked it back to these 16 days at the Sharks where he just killed it and it was pretty much untouchable. It was good to see, but I forgot what was that now.
Yeah.
Val's back to his under 16 days, killing it. Lolo also back. Peyton put him in the car park at about 50 minutes in, but they were comfortably in front there. So that might just be sort of a bit of fatigue management for later on in the season and for the start of the season, making sure he's there at the back end when they're going to need him the most.
I just don't trust them two as a combination. They seem to not get along. So it might just be what the media portrays or whatever, but
Yeah, I think it's a lot of bullshit
If
being
he's-
picked up by the media.
he's a fucking 70, he's a 65, 70-minute player, man. For $1 million, that's what you want. For $1 million, he wants to give you that. Peyton doesn't want to give him that. And it's, if you're not getting what you want at work, are you turning up happy?
No, look, I
Like,
get.
granted, you're not.
Look, I'm
the
not
selling
going
point-
into this with you,
the
Buzz.
but the
I'm
selling
not
point.
going into this with you, Buzz.
Why?
I'm not doing it because this isn't NRL 360. Supercoach wise, it only matters about whether he is getting those minutes and those numbers. So you've obviously gotten off, or you were never on.
I was never on him.
I've held personally. I think he is going to get. I think if he would have played more minutes last week, had they not been so comfortably in front, and had he needed to come on, I think he might
I
have
think
come back
50
on.
minutes is where he's at.
Who brought up the concussions earlier, Mr. Not NRL 360?
Yeah.
The what?
The concussions and stuff, the bunker and stuff.
But well, I mean, look, that definitely has a direct effect on Supercoach. Kurt Mann got 15 reduced minutes as a result. Old mate got to continue playing in the line when it's just a complete it's a different thing, man. That's rules. This is him talking about whether Peyton
But
and Lolo are
it's
friends.
still affecting Supercoach at the same time.
Well, to an effect.
Now, I wouldn't get on that Nanai either.
No, is that because he's your pod or
No, I don't have him. But he scored 3 tries for 90 points.
3 off kicks, which is
Yeah.
unheard of from back rowers?
That's,
Yeah, no line
that's
breaks in those
yuck.
tries.
That's yuck, bro.
That's just it was their game plan to outkick the Broncos, and it worked.
That's still yuck.
All right.
With 3 tries, I know you get a lot of points with line breaks.
Well,
and
you give
tackle
him line breaks
but,
on top of it. That's still 3 tries, line breaks for 120.
You know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He looks like a sort of kick-out mould where he's got a 30 in him. He not
he
got
had
those
he
tries.
had a 30 in him last
That's
week.
it. It was 30s.
He did get up that graded to 100, but in his defence.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He actually cracked the century in the end. Peter Hiku, brought in by a lot of players last week, if not the week before, but I don't think many people saw that performance last week coming. 20.
I still hold faith. Didn't have to do nothing then. I did it all.
Yeah, well, that's it.
So I don't know. I feel he was owed a few. He got offload in there and something else. Got to 27, I think. So I don't know. I still hold faith in Hiku.
Alrighty, sweet as. Final game, Bulldogs Sea Eagles. Wet slugfest of a game. It was beautiful to watch. Sea Eagles just pipped them in the end. I actually went back and watched the last 15 minutes of the game today because I was like, how did the Bulldogs stuff this up? Those last couple of sets, that was just, unfortunate for them. Shank kick, out of bounds on the full, didn't help them out.
We're just...
Yeah, they were just rushing. They were just rushing just a fraction, I
It's the
think.
finishing touch we've been missing for like 3 years or 4 years now.
Yeah, well, Burton, once he gets a bit more experience, I just hope he doesn't have to learn too many hard lessons this year.
Well, he
being
missed,
the controller.
He missed a sitter earlier, which
Would have
proved
changed
costly.
things.
Well, they lost by a point, so he kicks that sitter.
Yeah.
There's 14 points to 13, they win.
And then when he went for the 47-metre field goal in the wet and has been pissing down all day, it's like, well, that was never going to happen. You were never going to get that ball. You got a waterlogged ball for 80 minutes. Like, yeah, that's not going to fly the same way.
Yeah.
You can have some issues there.
Yeah.
The balls are pretty waterproof.
It was besides the bounce off the ground.
Yeah,
then.
that's it.
That's where you lose all the energy is the bounce off the ground then.
Plus, it has more friction going through the air with raindrops, I guess.
So, yeah, 4 and DCE looked busy all game, but only came away in the 60s. Ola Kawatu, 66 minutes for 30 points. A couple of errors from him. 13 for Bullymore, came off the bench. Yeah, bit of a rough one there. And, of course, Barrett playing funny buggers with forwards minutes over there. He was doing all sorts of things, yeah.
He doesn't know what he's doing. He'll be... I know the club's got faith in him, but he'll be one of the first sacked next year. He'll have 6 games, I think, next year before he gets sacked. Wow, what big words. He doesn't look in the off season. You heard the players, some of the ones that come from professional clubs, saying that it's not like when we were training here, there, or at more professional clubs. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a bludge here at the Dogs. They get there, they do what they want. You do what you want to do at training, sort of thing. It's not how it goes. They're still bit young in the head, some footballers. They're regimented. They need to be pushed to do their training. They need to be pushed, and supposedly he just gets in there and lets them run right, do what you want, sort of thing, and it's showing on the field. We're not much better than we were last year. Yeah, it's it, lacking that discipline, lacking that structure around them. Which you're right, especially young blokes, they need that for sure. Some of the older blokes they got there, that's the problem with the Dogs for me, is they've got a reputation for picking up old blokes on the way out, and they don't always pan out. Majority of the time. All right, we're doing some questions. Yeah, that's it. You got some questions there for us, Bergs? I do. This one's from Jack Sanders. He's banned. He's got a Facebook ban, so he sent us a message on you, Jack. This is the way to do it. Okay. Do I go Lomax via Jules for Lolo or Watson?
So he wants to bring in Lomax?
Yeah, for either Lolo or Watson. I think Connor Watson would be the one to go, wouldn't he?
Probably, but yeah, I'm not very attracted as.
Oh, he can't do it. He can't do it with Watto. It has to be Lolo anyway. He sent me a message.
I wouldn't trade Lolo for Lomax at the moment.
Yeah, I'd hang on. So yeah, do that trade of Watto, but and then I got another one here. Who would you upgrade Bullymore to? Oh, he's got Bullymore, Cobbo, Momasia, and Fafita.
Oh, ouch. Ooh, yuck.
Got any idea for him?
The Kings.
The Kings?
I don't know, there's not a lot.
Jai Arrow?
That's a lot of money. Those
It is,
players
man.
aren't worth a lot.
It's one of them things, if you didn't get it right at the start, you're going to fucking have troubles this year.
Absolutely, I'm finding that already. Cash generation just hasn't been anywhere near what I was expecting, and it's not good.
You know, I'm in trouble with that exact same thing. I
7.
didn't get it at the start. I've got no cash left to make any other changes here. So I've really just got to ride out what I get. Otherwise, I got to drop a complete gun, but there just aren't that many cheapies floating around to allow me to do it.
That's it.
I'm considering dropping someone like AFB to bank 300 to give me some room to play with in some other positions, but
All right.
big question to pull up whether I pull the trigger.
You want to do some live ones while we go one for one? Or?
Nah, you just roll through yours.
All right, Dave Sweetman. Does having both Maddo and Cardi on the bench hurt IPAP's output for minutes? Output and minutes. I don't know about that. One of them's going to go to lock, which you'd assume will be Maddo, unless they learnt from earlier in the year that Maddo's not a lock, and push IPAP in there. But that affects IPAP anyway. His scores in the middle last year were a bit average, if I remember right.
I think IPAP continues to play 80.
You do?
Yeah.
On an edge, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cardi played middle predominantly last year, and Maddo's been moved to middle this year too, so go
Right.
IPAP.
So, IPAP, you reckon?
Surely Lane's the one that misses minutes, if anything.
What do you reckon, Lewis? Jump on that microphone there, young
Yeah,
fella.
get in there, Louis.
Just rip it out. That away.
There we go.
Welcome, Louis.
Lewis,
Thank you, guys. Thank you. What was the question again? I forgot.
the question is,
Fitting right in already.
does having both Maddo and Cardi on the bench hurt IPAP?
It could. I reckon this would be the round to wait and see.
Yeah.
Wait and see. See how if he's going to do a Todd Payton and play him for 56, 55. Otherwise, yeah. I reckon this is the round to wait and see.
Yeah. All right. Ratchmund Agung Freshman. Yes. Sorry, dude. I know I fucked that up. Should I fix my backs? Cobbo, Sloan, Amone, Penasini, or try and bring in Hynes or Cam Murray in? For me, I wouldn't jump on Cam Murray straight away. Heavily inflated with try assists and tries.
I think you have to fix those backs.
Yeah, I do too. Where do you go with those backs? You've got Sloan and
Oh.
Amone money. Penasini should balance out, but
That's it. Even between Sloan and Amone, you got what?
600.
600? Just over?
So you
Near
can,
700?
ideally, if you don't have a Targo, which we assume you do, and we
That's it.
assume you got a
You could
Fermor.
even go one to a Taylor May and one to a $500,000.
Yeah, like what's Gags worth?
More than that.
Is he spewing? Gags look good.
Yeah, I think he's worth 599. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You're not getting Gags. What do you reckon, boys? Fixing them backs and who for?
But it's horrible, really, isn't it?
It is. It's hard. And no one's putting their hand up. It's cheap. That's the harsh reality.
How much did we say he had to play with?
He's going to have about 600. Just round it down to
700, I
600.
reckon.
You're gonna have to move on Sloan and Amone if you're not going to use a boost as well. And for me, I'd be bringing in a Fermor or a Targo if you don't have them, and a Talon May. And then you have some cash for next week to try and strengthen again.
Well, Fermal's at 439.
Yeah,
He's got a break even of minus 26. I'm pretty sure it was,
yeah,
or something like that. So he's going to earn that dosh.
yeah. Good to have a look at.
Otherwise, even someone like it's a bit of a risk, but Peter Hiku.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 398 at the moment. He's got a break even of 23. Last game was a bad game for him. He kind of disappeared and got 28. So if he gets more involved, I mean, you'll be pulling out the scores that he did the first two rounds, and
For me, I
still
think
on that dosh.
I think he's an experienced player, Hiku, and for me, he's just noticed Nanai was on fire. He just did not get in. Like, if you noticed, every time Nanai was jumping up for that ball, Hiku was there for the bat back behind him. So I still hold faith in Hiku. I think Hiku will average out. He'll do well. Should get up to 60s average at least, So
Yeah, and it looks like Dearden's going that way as well with his attack as well.
Yeah,
Over
yeah.
that side.
Con, anything there? Or you passed?
Pass. Sorry.
All right. Phil J. Pohio. I hope I got that right, man. Starling, yes or no?
No.
He's still got old mate on the bench. old mate started Frawley. He did, but old mate paid 65 anyway. Starling finished on 65 minutes, scored 70 points. I don't mind Starling, especially if you can't afford to get to Grant. He should make some money, Tommy Starling. Should. Think he's got a break even of 11. His scores have been 70.
39, 46.
And just shit minutes, eh? Last week was his first week of good minutes, was it?
No, round 1, 46 and 73 minutes.
Oh, really?
Round 2, 39 and 57 minutes. And round 3, 70 and 55 minutes.
Ooh. Right. Risky, Phil. But if you can see potential in it, I can't see anyone else there to really spear into. I know Ruben Cotter got a bit juicier because I think is it Mitch Dunn got hurt?
Yeah, but he was playing back row, I think, anyway. Oh, no, skill. But yeah, I think Starling, if you can find the form he showed 2 years ago when he burst out onto the scene.
Well, he's a
lovely.
runner. He is a gamble. If you've got a premium already in like B. Smith or Harry Grant is your other one, I can see you running Starling for cash. If you think he's going to go that way.
Louis?
If you got enough cash, would you go Randall to Starling? If you got enough cash. If your team's good enough where you don't have to put into other places.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right now I would, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But if I could afford to go to Blake Brayley, I would too.
I was going to say, I irradiate Brayley's having a great year.
I would downgrade Marnie to free up cash.
I'd prefer to go up with Marnie.
I would prefer to go up, but that's the only way you can go with Marnie, I think. If you're going to come down, that means you've left yourself no premium. Because you've got Reid Marnie as your premium hooker at the start of the year. So for me, you really got to go up from Reid. You can't really go down. But if you don't have a choice, for me, it's Blake Brayley. What's he's averaging 65, is he?
70.
So, fuck, mate. He's been chugging along nicely, Blake.
Very.
He's been kicking. I noticed he got a couple of short kicks. I think he kicked for Hamlin Welle the other week. It was a good kick. So
Fitzgibbon's got him playing a really good brand of football.
Yeah.
I like it. There's points to be scored in that Sharks team, and there's going to be a lot of benefits out of it, I think.
Yeah.
Benefactors, I should have said.
For me, I'm a big fan. If you're going to have to downgrade your Reid Marnie and you can't get up to Harry, I think Blake Brayley's your man for me. Yeah, but if you can't free up the cash, because B. Smith's up as well from Reid. So if you can't get to Harry, but look at Blake. He's probably second best hooker in the game at the moment.
Well, he's averaging base of 47 at the moment. So he's doing the work. Doing the work.
And the attacking stats, like they said, he was always the better Brayley coming through. That's why they let you have Jaden.
Well, I don't think that base covers offloads and tackle breaks too, which he does have a few sneaky offloads in him, and he can break a tackle when he sneaks out of the hooker and catch them off guard.
So, if would you recommend him to people?
Yeah, I mentioned him last week. So his base is so good, so I like him.
Yeah, if you can get the extra 110 grand, Phil, get up there. Cade Burgess, can Dearden be an option over Munster, or is Munster a must-have? I'm going to let you go first this one, Lewis.
No. Munster's a must-have. Honestly, Munster is looking good. He's looking fit. He's looking a lot better than last year. I'd be going straight to Munster. I jumped on him, I think it was round 2 off the top of my head. I jumped on him. As soon as he came back, he's looking good.
No regrets, eh?
No regrets at all. I mean, he pulled out what did he pull out? 121 yesterday. Yesterday.
On
last
the weekend,
yeah. Munster all the way. I think he's definitely a must-have. You don't have Cody Walker doing as much
Yeah.
in points wise as he did last season. But yeah, Munster, I reckon all the way.
Well, the fitness is there for Munster.
Well, I think you got to look at it. Like, you're going to trade in Tom Dearden. Yeah, he might make you maybe $150,000, $200,000. He's not going to score as many points as Munster, and you're going to have to trade him out for Munster as well. So it's costing you points and a trade for $150,000. I don't think it's worth
Which you're
it.
going to spend on Munster
That's it.
anyway.
You go straight to Munster, just get over and done.
Because
with
as
and
your
move on.
weeks go by, you're spending that cash on other people. So Munster's your best bet here today, Cade. For me, if you can get Munster today, that's so much less risk than having Dearden to go well, Munster to maybe go a bit shitter.
And that's it. Like, Munster could make $60,000, $70,000 this week and negate whatever Dearden's going to make. So
yeah, it's
take the points.
It's
with
smart.
Munster,
It's a smart.
lock him in, move on.
Smart trade. Wade B. Murphy. Hi guys, this is more of a draft question. I picked up Raymond Fatala-Mariner, just wondering if there's any chance he will be back from injury anytime soon. Now, from the start of the year, Raymond was tracking nicely, and then he's got something wrong with a foot. There's something wrong with his foot or something. Yeah, he's got like
I thought I heard somewhere that he's gone for the year again.
Fuck me. Fatala-Mariner.
No.
No, Fatala-Mariner. Not sure. He was on track.
Give me a second.
6 weeks out from the start of the year, he's on track to start, and then it was next thing you know, it was round 3, and then I read somewhere the other week he's indefinite with a foot. Not sure.
He's still indefinite.
Yeah, so it could. I heard it's one weird little bone that doesn't heal properly in your foot.
Honestly, I'd look for elsewhere.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be using up a bench spot on Raymond Fatala-Mariner unless I had 12 players starting and a gun second fullback or something on the bench who's my AA every week.
If you do want to get it, maybe find Fatala-Mariner on Twitter and see how he's tracking that way or some shit.
Well, even the physio usually has it.
He's charging
for him now, don't
He's
you?
charging money. So yeah, find someone that's one of your mates that's doing the physio.
I'm sure you'll find it on the Bulldogs page or somewhere.
No, we don't like to give away too much. No, I'm not sure, but yeah, as far as I know, it's indefinite. It's a small foot fracture or something. Doesn't go away. Steve Clifford, Jerome Hughes, and kick out for Cleary and Brody Jones. Should I? Whoa, Steve, and he's got a fucking night sting in his banner. So he's got a little bit of heartstrings there for Brody.
Oh, that's a no for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Jerome Hughes and kicks.
Yeah.
For Cleary and Brody Jones.
Yeah.
You want to see what Cleary's going to do?
Well, you're trading out two healthy players who can score really well on their day. For Nath, yes. Great gun.
Untried, untested.
Jones,
Brody.
who we don't know where we're going to go with. Hey, I don't like it.
Yeah.
You must be doing pretty well if you can trade out two fully healthy people already. One's who's...
I think he's just looking for that pod, get Nath in.
Yeah, I
be one of the
understand that.
first guys to have him. Sometimes it's a great thing if you're one of the first guys to look left.
Absolutely.
You know, and you're 100 points in front that week. Yeah, like there's so many little things like that. Like, well done, Jazzy guys, at the start of Nico.
Well, yeah, people who jumped on Nico last year as soon as he moved back. Tommy when he first came back.
Like there's a few there, you know. All right. Trey Wheelhouse. A. Hold S Walker with the run he's got coming up. B. Aiken to May, S Walker to Hynes. C. Downgrade S Walker to Sexton.
No, I'd probably go S Walker to Hynes.
So Aiken to May, S Walker to Hynes. Lewis.
I wouldn't sell Aiken. Is that the
That's
condition?
the option. Aiken to May, Walker to Hynes.
Lewis?
Hold Walker with the run he's got.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anyone else in the centres they can get rid of? I mean...
He might have Aiken in the second row. Oh, no, he's got May, so yeah. Look, for me, Aiken's not doing what I thought he was going to do. I thought Aiken was going to do a bit better. So, for me, I don't see that too bad of an option, May, and bringing in Hynes, but I also don't mind the downgrading the S Walker to Sexton either.
Well, I've got Aiken in my side. I've had him since the beginning, and like his base, he gets your points, which is what I like. I like in centre wing, someone that you know is going to get points.
Yeah.
But the upside hasn't quite been what I wanted.
No, well, they've all been disappointing sort of across the board. Like, Curran's been doing what he's doing, but Alesi Katara, I was expecting to do a bit more on the other side as well. And Aiken on the other side, I thought, both run good lines, score tries, but they really haven't been going their way at all. So
He's fully capable. Both of them are capable of bagging those tries easily. Just
it's a matter of getting them in the right positions to do it.
Yeah,
and I think
getting the
without
right
SJ,
service.
I think without SJ, they both struggle a bit to get the right service, you know. For me, yeah, I do B, Trey. I'll get rid of Aiken to May just for the cash grab there that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. And S Walker to Hynes. Like, Sammy does his job, but Hynes just seems to be the next tier above. He's up there with Nath.
Yeah, I think anyone questions Sam Walker or Hynes definitely.
Yeah.
But more work rate. He looks like he's going to be the main playmaker. All the attacking is going to go through him. Whereas with Sam Walker, with Kiri coming back in, it looks like his output's not as much as it was last year. Definitely Hynes. I'm going definitely Hynes.
Well, Hynes has this very similar base to Nathan, where he runs the ball a lot, he tackles, and he kicks goals. And then he has that creating spark on top like Nathan, and he's the main contributor to that team. So I think there's plenty of upsides.
Justin, Askew. Hey guys, bring in Teague Wilton or Bo Fermor, or keep Katoa and save the trade. For me, I have Katoa and am at a bit of a crossroads of what to do with him. So for me, he's a sell. Don't know.
I'd go Firmo with Graham approaching a comeback.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing you got to look at. Who's coming back? Teague Wilton's going to lose his spot. Bo Fermor's not.
Yeah.
His spot's solidified.
I see Talakai coming off.
Well, he's got centre. He's playing centre this week for Connor Tracy.
This week.
Yeah, he's playing centre for Connor Tracy this week.
Right.
So that's 80 minutes fatigue, you'd have to think.
How long's Connor out for?
Not sure. Didn't really look into that. But I know, well, like you said, Collins, he back around 6.
That's what it says.
Yeah. Round 6 for Wade Graham. So that's when shit's going to shuffle around there. It's only 2 rounds away. So it's 2 lots of price rises if you're willing to use the trade and you want the money, I guess. But in the same breath, it's not assured $150,000 price rise either, you know, which is probably minimum what I'd take for a trade.
I got a question from Nicholas Heffernan. Hey lads, what's the deal with Lee Martin? Thought he would be a bit of a pod. Now he's out again. Hold or sell? I could swap him down to May to fund Marnie to Grant. Don't everyone answer at once.
Marnie to Grant, you got to do, I think. If that's what you got to do to get to Grant, then you do it.
I think they're great trades personally.
Grant's the must-have this week, I think. So yeah, do it. I agree.
Yeah, we'll go along with that. I got rid of Cook to get Grant in this week. I think he's a must. You have to get him in.
Yeah.
Okay, Dan Sutton. I've got the money to go Ilias to Nath. Wait and see, or go early. Holy fuck, Dan. Well done. Well done, Dan. That's 800,000.
What does your team look like if you got that money?
That's what concerns me.
There must be gaps somewhere else.
Yeah. I think you have to have that money spent.
What if he's done well?
Well, get Nathan
Go for it.
What if he's done well and it's just sitting there?
I said if the
That's
rest of
what
your
you-
team's looking in good shape,
That's
jump
what you'll
on it.
build. That's what you're building your war chest for,
That's
man.
exactly right.
So yeah, push comes shove. We were just talking about it earlier. If you could be one of them 200 guys that go it, would ya? And if it weren't about the money, you probably would do it. You know, if you.
Well, you can't say if it weren't about the money because
Well, it's not.
money's
It's
a
about
definitely
the
a
points.
factor
Like,
involved.
it's if you were willing to take the hit of say the 150 grand that Nafe's going to lose. Like deep down, we know he's going to lose that money, but we know he's going to score some points along the way. It's a pro and con.
Yeah, well, I had the same conundrum. I had Nath money. Chose to spend it on
Munster
Hynes
and
and
Hynes.
Munster.
What, mate? Way better. You've covered so much more by doing that, in my opinion.
Well, there could be 300 points between those two a week.
Yeah.
Nath's not getting 300.
No.
Yep.
220.
I got one from the live chat. Jordan Rapiner, a pod. Had a good end to the year last year. Strong all-stars game and 88 points last week. Centre wing fullback duel. Thanks Douglas Lee for that.
Oh, Doug. I do like Rapana, and he does go and runs.
I'm pretty sure his base powers average is like 50 odd. Might be around 55. So he's a high worker, and yeah, I like him.
His only real problem's his suspensions, but we all started with a fresh slate, so
Yeah.
jump fuck on, man. He's a good one.
What's
He's
he
a good
worth?
get. You'd have to think 500s.
554.
554. So he's what you'd class as a premium centre wing.
Yeah, got a base of 28.
Yeah, but
He's
then,
not-
then
he's
he's
got-
throwing the evade as well, like with the tackle
Mm.
bust and shit of 22. Alright.
Because
That's what he
expected.
does. He breaks heaps of tackles and he offloads.
He's got break even at 37, so he's bound to make cash.
And is this their upcoming draw, is it? Manly, Melbourne,
Yeah, that's yucky.
Cows,
Panthers.
Panthers.
That's horrible.
Mm.
That is a horrid draw, but in saying that, he just brings the ball back. He probably won't
Yeah.
get no attacking stats over the next few weeks. So, if anything, Doug, look, if you wanted to super pod on, but
I'd be looking at him for the New Zealand game after and holding him through the first bye.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, let him go these next 4 or 5 games after Penrith. Maybe look at bringing him in for maybe 400, hopefully.
Nah, not that much.
450. So, yeah. Okay, Jesse Bugden. Hey, lads, would you go AFB and Stags to IPAP and Talon May? Or just hold the trades? I've used 2 boosters already, so I'm considering pumping the brakes on the trades. Well, Jesse, you have an addiction. You need to come to Traders Anonymous on fucking Wednesday nights. Yeah, look, dude.
They do sound like good trades, but
They are good trades. Fuck, you already used 2 boosters. You're deep. You're gonna need some of these boosters come Origin time, Jesse. Stop using. I'll do it. In saying that, like I pull the trigger on them trades and then stop trading for a bit, dude. Anyone else?
yeah, I'll do it. And hopefully, if you can ease up on the trades over the next couple of weeks, it'd be great.
All right, here we go. Fuck. Now, it's not a question. This is from Justin asking you again. Not a question, but might help others. All week, I plan and trade with my team. Then right before kick-off, freak out and change my team. E.g., took the VC off Hynes to Munster and then didn't have an NPR that late, so wasted the trade boost. Left Nanai out so I could loop. 50 less than captaining for feeder. With very rarely good results. Don't change your team last minute barring injuries. Trust what you have done earlier. Which, you know what? Same fucking dramas. I did the same thing on the weekend. Panicked. Fucking, I was so far behind. I only scored like 900 and something points this week. I was so far behind. I thought, fuck, I need a power play. I need to try to get somewhere. Ended up panic trading someone who I probably should have waited. Probably would have made money this week. Old mate wasn't going to get a price change anyway. So I've lost the price rise out of him and scored 20 less points. So it was just a total waste of a thing. Whereas on the Thursday night when I was looking at all my shit to do, I thought I won't do that this week. You know, it's not the matchup, it's not this, it's not that. But by by Sunday afternoon, I'm looking at my thing going, fuck, I'm a shit Supercoach. I'm fucking terrible, guys. Here I was swinging it around the other day. No, but yeah, it's one of them things, you know, deep down in your gut, from this point on, pretty much Tuesday, once team list drops, your subconscious is doing work for you. Like, it is actively in there thinking, should I do this? Should I do that? You might not be thinking at the forefront of your mind, but it's there. For me, I try not to touch it, but you do. You do. Do you?
Sometimes.
There you go. It's one of them things, man. It's hard to do. It's hard to just sit it down. Because you have a memory, you have a spark in your head that says, fuck, I should do that. You know, there's, what's the word for it? Euphoric feeling. And you just think, I have to do this. Like, it's one of them things. I'm on money. Pans out, you're not.
Yeah.
You got any live?
Yep. Got one from the live chat. Bradley Baxter. Money to Bradley and Bullimore to Wilton. Leaves me money and a chance to get to Cleary in 3 weeks.
He's got a plan. I like the 3 weeks. That means he's mapped something out. I like that. I like that a lot.
Not a fan of the Wilton trade, but if that helps you in your little process, get to Cleary, and that's where you're heading.
Well, he's got the 3 week thing on, so he might have already taken in consideration that
Graham's coming back.
Graham's coming back.
Yeah.
He might be just wanting the money in to move along. He seems like a man with a plan. I like that, Brad. Jump on.
Yeah, I support that. One down. If it means getting to Cleary.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It's our brother Saxy. Danny Sackle. How are you, our friend? Fellas, my apology. I have been on a 30-day Facebook ban. I know.
I was wondering what's happened to Saxy.
I know he's coming off the bench, but should I bring in Will Smith, or is that a slap in the face to the rest of my squad?
Yep.
Yes. You've been drinking, haven't you? Fucking drinking again, Saxy, on a Tuesday. That's fucking hectic, brothers. No, I wouldn't do it, man. He's a trap. He's a trap hard.
I think that was a joke, bud.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Just in
Okay.
case there's
Sorry.
other people out there
fair
going,
enough.
fuck yeah, oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Saxy drinks, as you can tell by 30-day Facebook ban. Sends dick pics to fucking, what's his name, Zuckerberg and shit. Bowsy, fucking most famous dude we know. Champions. It has. Check out Pro Drifting.
Good luck, Rousey.
Get there, Vowsy. Fucking love your work, mate. Champions, what do you guys think of AJ to Fermor? I'm still under the never trade a gun rule, but making the trade gives me money for Cleary, currently in the top 1%. Vowsy!
Yeah, I like it.
Love that shit, Vowsy. Love it. Love it. And he's top 1%. You got one? Bullshit, did we?
Not we. Sorry, not we.
Oh. Shannon Piskowski. Do I use another boost this week to go Marnie to Grant, Luai to Munster, and Teddy to Hynes, which will leave me $250K in the bank?
Don't like trading out Teddy, but it sounds pretty yummy.
That's the only one I'm a bit down on, the Teddy to Hynes trade.
Well, you're getting 3 guns for the price of 2, off the price of 1.
Yes. So you do it?
If I could do it without the Teddy to Hynes, I would.
But you can't, so you get Grant, Munster, and
I think you
Hynes.
can, because...
Or you stuck with Marnie, Luai, and Teddy. You want the others. You want the other 3.
What I'd go to the Marnie to Grant and Luai to Munster. I'd keep Teddy.
Over Hynes.
Yeah.
Okay. You got a live one?
Yep, I got a couple. Matt Knight, would you boys trade Luai to Munster? Definitely.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. Next one. I can get Hynes, but have to sell Sam Walker, which sounds easy. But I also have to go Stefano to enough in the second row, leaving me Haas and both Kings in the front row. It improves my team by 40 points and gets me 60 to 70k in price price rise in 1 week, but concerned about nothing so early. Sam Walker also has a good draw.
Yeah, nothing. I talked about nothing earlier, and the boys laughed at me. So
I'm struggling enough to get 23, 24 players on the field as it is without nothing out already.
yeah. Oh, I couldn't nuff this early personally. I did think about it, but it'd depend on what position you're going to nuff too. Like, for me, the only position I'd nuff now would be hooker. Because it's Grant, you can get Cheese in second row, and then it's fucking no one. So, unless I had enough money there to get Blake Brayley, which is 450,000 or 460,000, which I don't, I could honestly consider nuffing that, but massive gamble this time of year when you're meant to be making money. Like, it's the time you're meant to be producing even slow burns just to get somewhere, you know. But
yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd nuff at this stage. If you can trade down and maybe go for a bit of a crash grab, I might look at that. But as for nuffing this early, I don't think so. And that's Christopher Maxfield as well. Thanks for that question.
All right, Clayton Gable. Should I trade out Katoni Staggs and Luke Keary for Talon May and Cameron Munster? Or do you think Keary and Staggs will come good in the next few weeks, given they've both returned from long-term injuries? I know about best cheap of the year. I think Targo will get that best cheap of the year.
He could very well pick up that best cheap of the year outside Targo. They could both be up for it. It depends how long Brian's out for and whether he then pushes Staines out of the wing spot on the other side. But look, first game looked good, looked solid, looks like he fits in there and fits in as part of the system. I think he would have been away with the team last year as well, which is what Targo credits a lot of his success to so far. He said just that time being around just made him sort of... He had to step up his game because he was up there with the boys in Queensland last year. So I dare say Taylor's been in that same thing. It looks like he slots right in. So
you already done Nick Heffernan's question, didn't you?
Yeah.
Ben Kelly, would you go Moses to Cleary or Hynes? Mitch Moses to Cleary or Mitch Moses to Hynes?
Look, I'd go the pod to Cleary. I mean, what's the chance that Hynes is going to ton up every second week? You know what I mean? Has he started strong? Is he going to be able to maintain that? Is he going to average 100? The thing is, Cleary and Hynes almost cut from the same cloth in the terms that they are controlling a team, they look good in the halves, and they've both got the goal kicking duties for those extra points. They're both in teams that can score points. But, yeah... I don't know. I personally, I think I go Cleary as the pod move.
Yeah.
Try and shift away before everyone else jumps on. Con?
Yeah.
What's the question? Sorry, buddy.
Would you go Moses to Cleary or Moses to Hynes?
Tough one. I'd probably have to say Hynes because I'm choosing him over Cleary this week, but I can see the pros in going Cleary.
You don't have the cash. So he's probably got the cash.
I do have the cash.
Oh, yeah, fucking. All right, you got one over there?
Let's have a look. Blake Brayley, a good trade in for Randall. I think we might have already touched on this earlier. Yeah. Murray with the break even of 6. Is it now or never?
I don't know about never. He's not turning up every week. This is probably the week to get, but I also think you could probably wait a week, as I don't think he's going to ton up again. I think he might 60, but I don't know.
With an 84 next week, he goes up just under 60k.
Yeah, which is probably what he'll get, a bit under. No, I know you're not, but...
Oh, he's made 44, 44 and 40 tackles in 3 games so far, which is excellent. Plenty of runs. He's had offloads.
Does their draw get juicier? Like, their draw gets nicer soon too.
Yeah, I got Panthers, and then Dragons, Bulldogs, Tigers, Manly, Broncos, Warriors, Canberra, Tigers, Titans, Dragons. Jesus Christ, that's a sweet run.
It might be time. Might be the time to get on. Get on. Fuck it. Do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Scotty Duncan. What do you think about getting Nath Cleary by moving Hynes to fullback and selling the Ted? You can start, bud. I know you're very...
Yeah, well, I'm against that personally, but...
Because I did mention that earlier this evening, and you just looked at me like, what the fuck, not Teddy. I did remind you of Lukey Smith's run last year when he sold Teddy before a price change. It was a masterstroke, so...
I think the Roosters are going to click sooner rather than later. Points will start rolling in for Teddy.
I'm going to say this to you, but Scott, you have a think about it, man. If your gut's full telling you to do it, you do it, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people jumped on Hynes, and you know what? Haven't heard one say, "Fuck, I'm disappointed." So it could be it could be a thing, man. You know, I wouldn't say no to you doing it at the moment. Teddy's averaging 70, 65 at that. So
yeah, he's averaging 60 at the moment.
there you go. He's averaging 60, and you've got Nico averaging 100. So
yeah, I think one thing you just got to remember, there's a reason why we all got Teddy. The reason why we've had Teddy for a few years now, is that he can just decide, he can just turn it on, and it'll be on for weeks and weeks and weeks.
If we do remember though, Teddy does have those periods where he's not the gun fullback of the rounds, and
Well, Teddy's got Cowboys, Broncos, Warriors, Dragons, Bulldogs, Titans.
fuck, that got nice too, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's good.
You do whatever you think's right, Scotty. But you just heard what we just heard, and if you still sell, then it's up to you. You know, push comes to shove, man. It's your gut.
Yeah, that's it.
Go with it, man. If it's pointing you in the right direction, it's not a bad thing. What do you got over there, Louis?
Yep. So I've got Shannon Pinkowski. Sorry if I butchered that name.
He's used to it, trust me.
Do I burn 3 trades again this week? Moni to Grant, Luai to Munster, and a Monet to Fermor via Jules or Teddy to Hynes.
Go the Fermor, get the Fermor out through a moan over Teddy to Hynes. For me.
Yep.
Okay, Matt Mason. Sloan to May, Ikatoa to Fermor, and Randall to Grant. Is it too early to get on May? Was last week, not this week. I think you can get on May this week. Like we all said no last week. He got 100. Feel bad for anyone who listened to us.
Yeah. Well, you'd rather have May sitting there not making money than Sloane sitting there losing your cash.
Yeah, 100%.
Becoming useless. And those other 2 trades are too good to refuse, I think.
Yeah. 100% agreed. Last one from me. Jared Swan, Tyrell, Sloane, a sell.
Yep.
100% for me.
Yep.
You can easily get him back later if you want, but he hasn't done enough to impress me. And he's just going to leak another, 50 grand if he goes shit this week, so...
Jordan Kahu.
Eat your heart out.
Yeah, I just got one more. Shannon Pikowski again. Again, sorry if I butchered the name.
Nah, he loves it, bro. Love you, Shan. We love you, Shan.
I'm sure you're used to it by now. Is it also bad to have Munster, Pappy, Coates, and Grant?
Nope.
No. In years gone by, hey.
I now do have all those 4.
In years gone by, you remember, Juzzy, how many Panthers did you have? Luke had the same. I can't get 5 Bulldogs to save me life, so I share the love everywhere else. But we've all had top 4 teams where we've been littered. I think Penrith the other year we had 7 players. There was Toto, there was Cleary, there was Luai, there was fucking...
I think I ended up with 6 or 7 players by the end of last season, just in Panthers alone. I think another 3 or 4 Souths.
That's it. You could have had AJ, Terrell, Walker, Murray, Gags, all from South last year as well.
I mean, if they're making you points, go for it.
That's it.
If they're getting you the points, just go for it. Yeah.
Well, especially, you can spot it. You can see the run. You know yourself if they're about to go on their run, you know the points are in them. If they're a team that scores heaps of points, then all them guys are worth it. Sure, 1 week one of them might do
That's
shit,
it.
but the
There's-
rest of them will make up for it.
But there could be that 1 week where they just have that off week, and yeah, it might cost you a head-to-head. But looking at the overall, those players are going to be up there at the top of their averages for their position. So
Yeah, I think you can do that. And I think Shen just puts a couple in there just to see his name change every time fucking someone tries to read out his last name, poor bastard.
Yeah, well, Nicholas Heffernan, sorry. He agreed. He said, no way, Storm are just that good. Score a shitload of points, sorry.
yeah,
Thanks, Chris Maxfield. Cheers.
yeah, new bloke did well. On you, Louis.
Okay.
Alrighty. Well, I think that's about us for the week, yeah?
I think so, mate.
Good work, everyone. Thank you very much to Lewis. How'd you go, buddy? Did you enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. It's good. That's for sure.
Everybody, let us know how Lewis went. Give honest feedback, you know.
Don't be too hard.
Yeah.
No, be harsh. You know
You,
Wheeler.
you know where you'll be able to find him. No, just send a message to Supercoach 360. Let us know.
Doesn't
Look,
give hugs.
thanks very much for coming along, man. You definitely helped out with what's going on in here. Takes a lot to keep this shit running every week, so we
Well, I've
appreciate the
never
help.
seen that before, where we've got stuff on the telly.
That's it, bro. Next
and I
level.
can read stuff. Poor people at home got me doing these ones. Oh, what? Why?
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Have a good round 4. Quickly, boys, captain choices before we bail.
Pappenhausen.
Yeah, Pappy or Teddy.
Yeah, either anyone at Storm, really. The Grant, Munster, Pappy, any three of those. Nico's a vice captain choice.
Was me rat test.
Would you bring in Cleary and captain him if you did against Souths
No, I'd VC.
I'd VC.
I'd
Yeah.
VC.
in the Friday night game?
I'd even look at VC and Dave Fafita against the Tigers on Thursday.
Big balls up, play that.
Oh, I reckon I will be doing that, to be honest. All right. Well, thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your Supercoach week. Make sure you check out the website, check out the YouTube. Thank you to Lewis. Thank you to all of our supporters. Totally Addicted Supercoach, Brad Smith, Ross Mann, Supercoach360.com, Supercoach Hub on Discord. And yeah,
Don't forget the website.
I already said that. Supercoach360.com. Thanks for
I'm
listening.
just saying might be. Don't forget.
Peace.
You know how I get, bro.
G'day, welcome to Supercoach
Very
360. How you doing? It is your boy Juzzy J live from the coach's box again for a Tuesday. We are right on time, 10 past 8. So we're right on time as usual. Thanks for joining us. I am joined by my faithful companions in this wet Sydney weather. Bergs and Con, how we doing, fellas?
Great. Yourself?
Yeah, good. How are you, fellas?
Fantastic. Did you watch a little bit of football?
Yeah, by about half to 3/4 of the way through, I started to actually. Got a system, yeah. That's what I think. At the start of the video, you'd probably see like flicking between screens a bit too much. Then I got the hang of it. Wait, no. Yeah, watching you guys when you guys actually.
I tend to cut. I'll talk
I reckon probably about half of the video is just on Berg. Just talk.
Yeah, true. People got to move.
about Supercoach, Bob. I fucking we get the other day.
And on the screen, press that. Yeah, not the dial.
Oh, yeah.
It takes it. Yeah.